Welcome back to HATER podcast, baby. I'm your host, Victor, along with my co-host, Mark. How
Hello.
we doing today?
Doing great.
Why? Because
Why
we're
do you
Super
say?
Bowl champions.
Yep.
We were on the field.
Yep.
We played.
You might have not called us, but like we were there.
Yeah.
And
We weren't on the. We were like on the sidelines. We were coaching. We were
True,
position coaches.
yeah.
And we helped out. Spoke to Saquon. Spoke to Devontae. Spoke to AJ.
AJ was talking about the book with him. Just
I had it in my pocket for him.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, he reminded him. Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever he needed it,
Mhm.
it was actually before his touchdown pass or reception. He read it real quick. He read a quick passage and then easy money. Super Bowl champs. My prediction was right for Cooper DeJean.
Oh yeah.
I did say that.
Yeah,
he
you
was
did.
gonna get his first interception in the Super Bowl and then being a pick six.
Mm.
And we whooped the Chiefs' buttocks.
Yeah. How did you feel about it? I mean, obviously coming from a Phillies fan, it's like the most amazing thing ever.
Mhm.
I just know hearing from other people, they're just like, it was so just like boring because they just felt like it was such like a one-sided.
Yeah, it absolutely was a boring game.
Yeah.
Like if you're not invested in it, like
Yeah,
ass whooping's never.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I'm like, dang, like, because I'm replaying how excited I was for every just like score we got, and I'm just thinking like, if this isn't my team, I'm just quiet the whole game, just like neither annoyed, like but like just quiet.
Yeah, like especially once it was like 40-3.
Yeah,
And it was like that end of the third quarter. Like they got their first score like the end of the third quarter, basically the fourth quarter. Like that fourth quarter was boring as shit because like we pulled all our people off the field.
You said fourth?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't watch it because I was already out the house.
We pulled everybody off the field. We had like Jalen Hurts did not play the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And with like 5 minutes left, we dunked the Gatorade on Nick Sirianni.
Oh, okay.
We were just like drawn, like
yeah.
And like they scored 2 touchdowns at the end, but like everybody was off the field, and they were just basically like letting them score so we can run out clock so the game for the game to be over.
Yeah.
So really the game, the ending.
Yeah, because at that point I was already gone. I was waiting for the train to go right down to City Hall, and I remember I think M's sister like set the score again, and I was just like, dang, wait, they actually like scored like a couple times. I was like, I said to Maddie, I was like, what if they just like we're all out here and we just look at the score and it just
like, what the fuck?
and we just lost. I was like, there's no way. I was like, there's no way they could catch back up. So
No. But yeah, they sat a lot of the starters and like Jalen or whatever. Because like obviously it's the last game, but you don't want like an ACL injury and then they're out for next season.
and you just can't. You're in a wheelchair holding the trophy.
Yeah, like you just can't have that happen. So.
Yeah, man.
But if it were anybody else, like obviously it'd be boring. I exploded every time. Like that Cooper DeJean pick six.
That was so unexpected.
It was 3 of us in our living room. I swear to everything, the entire block heard us, bro. I was just like, Cooper. He just kept running.
There's just somebody down the block, huh?
Yeah, like especially my neighborhood.
Yeah, right. Who's calling?
It was about 5 people that turned around.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, like it was awesome, bro. I was just super hype. I was hype off of that. Like obviously, it ended up not being for him, but that first big pass that we got with Jahan Dotson, where he got stopped at the 1, but and it was when we did the tush push. But I was like, yo, like Jahan, let's go.
What was it Devontae where he like bombed it?
He did it twice. I mean, he did it with AJ kind of in that. But Devontae, the big one where it was like, it was like it made it like 40-0.
Yeah.
That was Devontae.
Because I think it was that play where I remember I even seen like recaps on Instagram where they were showing how people were just like celebrating the catch. Even before.
It was
because they were just like
what was it? I think our center was just like, let's go. Jalen was like, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Saquon hit that one block and was just like, as money. Bro, when I was watching it, whenever you see Jalen like wind up like that and it's just like a bomb, it's always a touch. It's always a touchdown.
Yeah.
Whenever it's like a bomb like that where he just like he steps into it and just launches, I'm like it was the ball was in the air. I didn't know who he was throwing to. I said touchdown.
I didn't know
and
anybody.
He just fucking grabbed that shit.
I was so surprised. I was like, when I saw him like wind and throw it, I was like, really?
I was like, who down there?
Yeah. I was like, wait. Is that what we're doing right now?
Because, like, to be honest, that first penalty on AJ, I was like, all right, like.
What was it for again?
Bro, our first drive, we like, it was a 4th down.
Oh, you know what? I wasn't there in the very beginning because
So you missed half the game.
No. See. I was on a very specific mission getting pizza. And that place was taking forever.
Couldn't get delivery?
No, because that would have took even longer. The place was backed up. Like, bro, it was like, when I'm going to tell you, there was heads in there. Just like we were just all sitting on the wall, just like waiting
I
for
would
our
have
pizza.
I would have the game on my phone. I don't.
I
That's
mean, yeah,
tripping.
I had it on the TV there, but I think it was more so from when I drove back. Like, it was just, yeah.
But yeah, so that first drive, they won the coin toss. They gave us the ball first.
Yeah, I
they
saw
went
that.
After the half.
They got heads. I was like, okay, great.
But we were making our way down the field, and it was like 4th and 2, and we went for it. And we sent AJ down the field, and he caught the ball and everything. It was a clean catch. I mean, you've probably seen the replay somewhere, if anything. People like complaining about it. But, yeah, they called the pass interference on AJ, which it was literally just him, like, going like this. And people were saying because he touched the guy's helmet, they're like,
I think I remember hearing something like that. Okay.
But it was not.
I mean, hey, we got a lot of good calls throughout the whole rest of the game, though. Like,
did we?
I just felt like from recent stuff, I feel like it I don't know, it worked out in our favor. I don't know. I guess it just,
I mean, so there was the one on AJ sucked, and then on the next drive, the Chiefs had the ball, they had the ball, they did nothing with it. We got it back, and we had another drive with Dallas Goedert where like he didn't catch it because there was a pass interference on the Chiefs, and that was basically a makeup call for what they did to AJ. And then after that, they were just kind of out of the way. But like, to say that we didn't get penalties called on us, we had to re-kick every field goal.
Oh yeah, that was like that happened a lot of times too. Yeah,
4 times.
But bro, man's Elliott, bro,
he locked in.
Came through.
And even when you saw that, like it was like, oh, the long snapper.
Yeah.
And they said he moved, and I'm like, yo, you could see the like 2 Chiefs players like launch themselves across the line.
Yeah,
there was no movement on the long snapper.
There was one play. I don't think it was a kick. It was just one play, and I remember like they had to call like it was offsides. But then I saw that they like said something else about it where it just like canceled out. It was like, I don't know, it was something weird.
Yeah. Because
I literally saw the blue line and the Bulls' hand was right over it. And I was like, bro, he's offsides.
Yeah.
And then they played it and then they threw the flag and I was like, and they said offside. I'm like, like how are we just gonna let that roll?
Yeah, so there was a couple of times where it was just like dumb. And then they were holding like shit. I mean, I'm sure that they missed calls on both sides, but like
there was a good amount on both sides, but
I think that they stayed out of the way for the most part. But with those, like, luckily Elliott locked in. But like if those, like he had to kick he had to do it 8 times.
Yeah.
So like if he were to mess up, like those penalties would have been an issue because he kept having to move back 5 or 10 yards.
Hey man, he pulled through for all the stuff people would get. Like I literally,
rightfully so.
Yeah.
You saw the stat on the. I don't know if you were there for it. The stat on the screen was like he was like 1 for 8 in the entire year.
Yeah.
For anything like 50 plus.
Bro, he locked it. Like, it wasn't even so much like he locked it like he made it. It was like, bro, those things were straight down the middle.
Yeah.
And them things were going high and fast. I was like, bro, okay.
I was like, get the
yeah, every time. There was one where they like called a timeout and it went to the side. We were like, okay, let's go. But other than that, bro, he kept getting sent back further and further and kept making them. I was like, all right, you got it.
It came out after the fact. He played through injury for the whole year.
Wow. Yeah.
So... which I like would have assumed. I was like, either he got injured before and it just messed him up for the future, or he's fighting through injury, and that ended up being the case. So yeah, we won the game.
That was good.
I was confused as hell throughout the entirety of it because like I know that we were winning by a lot, but even like early on there was no like fire from the other side. Like usually like I think like the first drive maybe, but like by the time it was the second quarter, like at least at that point you're at least along the sidelines like talking to each other. Or like arguing at the least. Like if things are going bad, like at least obviously arguing looks bad, but at least it means you give enough of a fuck to like fight with each other. Like, yo, like you're not doing this and you're not doing this. There was none of that. By halftime there was over.
Yeah, like what was it? I think it wasn't until like third quarter where Travis Kelce finally got like his first catch. I was just like, really? Dang.
I don't know. You probably saw it or you'll know what I'm talking about. There was one play where Patrick Mahomes was just scrambling and he like just did all this like extra running for no reason because it was a penalty anyway. He got called back. But during that play, Travis Kelce is literally just standing there. Like I'm not saying like he's like he's literally just hands on his side, just watching Patrick. And like when Patrick's scrambling, before he decides to stand still, Travis Kelce's just like, what the fuck? Like, but the rest of the time he's just hands on his side, just watching everything play out, not blocking, not anything. So I'm like, and the reason I say it is because I don't know if you remember last Super Bowl when they won, like Travis Kelce pushed the shit out of Andy Reid because he was so upset that he wasn't getting touches.
I remember that.
So that was the whole thing. It's like, so I was expecting that to some capacity.
Yeah, he was like, they were in each other's face.
Yeah. But like, obviously that looks bad and like it's not good conduct to have, but at least that shows that you're like in it.
Yeah.
Like there were shots where they would show the Chiefs sideline, they were just sitting there like, yo, like we're getting cooked right now.
Yeah. I mean, hey, yeah. I don't know, yeah. Like you said, it was weird. And then just hearing also just like obviously wow, his name was right in my head and then I lost it. Commentator.
Tom Brady,
bro. I'm
commentator.
Like, yeah, I mean, he is at this point.
Yeah, but 7-time Super Bowl champion Tom Brady.
Well, I was just saying for that game specifically. Yeah. I was trying to I was gonna say yes, he won Super Bowl rings and all of that, but I was like, I shouldn't have to. I was like, yeah. At one point, just like it was just funny hearing them just talk about the Chiefs, and they were just the only thing to talk about was like, oh yeah, like how can they come back?
Yeah.
All this and like the Eagles not even in the conversation anymore. It's just all about how they could try to do something, you know, be more in there. I was just like, I don't know. It was crazy to know that this was a Super Bowl, and I was just like, okay, at some point I should be expecting something out of nowhere to happen from freaking Kansas City, where I'm just like, oh my God, like, because it always happens. So I was surprised that all the way till third quarter, they finally scored, and I was just like,
And there was really no like the last time that we faced off in the Super Bowl, when we like the field was such an issue. Like I don't know if you remember that, like everybody was slipping and falling everywhere because it was just a shitty, poorly done field. And then this time around, they just completely they just did away with real grass altogether. They were just like, we don't want that issue again.
Because we're birds, we don't do well on ground. So.
I don't know. I think our run game was pretty good all year.
It's dry.
But yeah, the game was dope for our perspective. Thoughts on the halftime show?
I thought it was all right. I thought like when it comes to just like when you think of like a performer, definitely completely different. You know what I mean? Like he did his thing. He did his set list of like the songs he wanted to do. He even like gave it a little bit of like background story in the sense of having Samuel Jackson.
That was dope. That was my favorite part.
Yeah. I like that too. Yeah, I remember M's sister was just like, "Oh my gosh, he's back again." I was like, "Bro, I want this man on the screen. Let's go, Samuel." I want him to say.
What was she mad about?
I don't know. You know how some people are just like they just want to see the performance. They don't. I don't know. I guess because it wasn't someone singing or rapping.
It's a part of it.
I know. Yeah. Look, I was there for it. I was just like, "Say, I'm tired of these Kansas City Chiefs." Like, but yeah, I thought it was dope. I thought like the art style of it was pretty cool. I remember just the one point that I was just like, hey, yo, that's pretty cool to have that job, was the people that were sitting on the lamp.
Oh, yeah, there's one
I was like, well, that'd be me.
He just did not move a muscle.
I was like, I could do that, bro. But no, it was pretty dope. SZA did her thing too. I was surprised there was only like 2 little songs though.
Yeah, she just did her little snippets.
But I figured I'm like, I guess because Kendrick there's so much going with Kendrick right now. It's like you might as well just like let him do his thing. But yeah, I thought it was just like, it was a very chill, but definitely not something that was just like, yo, like crazy, like stuff happening, all this. It was just like a very chill. And I feel like I can tell like some people have like mixed opinions because it's just like, it was cool. And it could either be one thing of like, you're just not a fan, or you just are just like expecting more, but then you realize it's like, what did you expect him to do? Like, it's because he's not like freaking Michael Jackson.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
It's just a thing with the genre. Like, you think about rap or hip hop in general as a genre in terms of like live performance.
Yeah,
a lot of the time a lot of the energy is carried from the crowd as well.
Yeah,
like it's never choreography with rap music or hip hop type of music a lot of the time. So when you're at a live show, it's like, oh, you hear your favorite song, everybody's singing along, everybody's jumping and bouncing.
True,
like,
that's
you're not gonna get that, especially for the way he had his set up. But usually, even if there was a crowd, it's usually like they're paid actors or like people that are like.
I think it's very hard to judge around too, because again, it just depends on the type of music too.
Yeah.
Like, again, Kendrick is a rapper, and if you would have did someone like Taylor Swift, it's like it's a more upbeat, poppy type of like. I don't know. I just think like you can get a lot more away with a lot of more songs that will like make people want to like probably move out of their seats a little bit. Whereas rap, it's like you can really appreciate it. You can vibe with the beat. But some people out of everybody probably wouldn't be like trying to move around. They'd just be like listening to it, probably bobbing their heads and whatever the case is.
I don't know if Taylor Swift is the right comparison, because I don't think she'd be dancing or nothing either. But
she'd be trying to. There's videos out there trying to.
Trying. Emphasis on trying.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking of like the next like biggest like artist so I could think of it. She was there, so yeah.
Yeah. No, you can even make the comparisons for the year prior, whereas like you think about having Usher. Like,
yeah.
there's
Oh,
like
yeah.
R&B / pop type of stuff.
Then
He had
took
other
his shirt off though too, bro.
He was roller skating. Like, it was like a lot of theatrics going on. He had like a lot of other people from Atlanta coming in, like Ludacris, Lil Jon,
I
stuff
think
like
that's
that.
a big part of it too when you have like a certain amount of guests.
Her came out, I think, as well. She did Bad Girl or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, like, and he sings, he did choreography. There's like the amazing like theatrics of it. So it's just a different genre, like requires different stuff. Like, especially when so much of it is like the background dancers as well. Like, there's only so much you could do. I think that what they did, it was cool because there's like a lot of like imagery within it. Like, there was like the American flag when he was on the steps, and like having Samuel Jackson like do transitions, and the freaking what you call it, it was basically, he had a block, like a street
street block,
like, it still looks dope, and obviously everybody was singing along to it, so like the people there enjoyed it.
I think what everybody is appreciated about is just also just like the amount of work and stuff that was going on with it, because like you said, he had that whole street block, and he was moving from corner to corner, I think, from like each of those, like from the X, circle, triangle, square. Like, he was moving for each one. I just feel like as a performer, not to mention like he only had SZA, and a lot of the times when you have these other people who are coming out with you, it's like a lot of the times they do like their own little piece of something. You have time to like relax a little bit. Probably like someone passes you a bottle of water with it, like recatch yourself. But it was like mainly him for the most part. So
from
he
top,
was
from
moving
start to top, like
from the start to the finish of it. So it's like that's like super impressive. And yeah, you could tell, man was wearing a Letterman jacket, heavy behind chains. I'm like, bro, I'll be sweating.
72 people came out that GNX car.
Yo, I was like, even when he started still singing, they tried to move the camera away. I'm like, I'm still focusing on the car. I'm like, bro, they're still coming. How are they still coming out the car? I was looking under it. I'm like, is there a trap door? Like, I can't see it.
That's what it was.
I didn't see that, John, bro. Unless there was mirrors that were like blocking it.
No, I mean, you're not meant to see it, but they were coming from underneath the car.
I didn't see that, John. It was covered. I was like,
but yeah, like, it is what it is, and the people were upset about the messaging or something. There was people that like, I didn't know I couldn't understand what he was saying. I'm like, you're always just hating.
But that's what I'm saying. You're gonna get that again, depending on the type of people that are watching it. It's like if you don't really listen to it or whatever like that, you're really not caring for it. That's that one other half of like people watching the Super Bowl.
Who do you think should do it next?
Because
go ahead.
Who I think should do it next?
Well, the comment I was gonna make is there's been a lot of comment, at least especially from this as well. It's like, oh, like, it's been very like rap or hip hop centric for like the past like 5 or 6 years, so people are complaining about that.
Yeah, I was gonna change it to like a pop star. I wasn't gonna think of like rock,
which I think they will.
Yeah,
like this coming year.
I wasn't even thinking rap. I mean, I did think of like because again, that's mainly what I listened to, but I was trying to like take myself out of that because I'm like, who else? But it's hard because again, I don't really listen to it, so I'm like,
I already have like in my mind what would be perfect, but they won't do that.
A female artist, maybe.
Yeah.
Are you gonna say like what, Doja Cat?
No. I don't think she has like. I mean, maybe
the type of music you think. I think she does.
No, she absolutely could do it. Do I think that they would? No, not right now, because I feel like that.
A lot of controversy.
No, not even that. If they were worried about controversy, they wouldn't have had Usher up there. But my thing is like she had her moment with her first 2 albums, and then right now I think it's just kind of been quiet for her for a little bit. So like,
so just as far
I think they have
being
same thing what they did with Kendrick, where it was like, yo, like this is probably the biggest and most talked about he'll be.
Relevance.
So let's get him now. Yeah.
So, okay.
So I think for me personally, because the next one is in Santa Clara, California, in the 49ers Stadium, so it's in California. I think. So first off, I heard rumors that it might be Miley Cyrus, which I think is pretty. I think she's talented enough to do it, and she has enough music out to do it. So I can see that.
Yeah.
Especially if she does Hannah Montana shit too. I think that'd be hilarious.
I was gonna say, for someone like her, it's really good because she has been doing music now, still, I guess, and we grew up with her, so I feel like she's made music for not only like our childhood, kind of like
I think
nostalgia.
I think everybody could appreciate her being up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's beyond than just like
from her old stuff from being a kid to like kind of her. She's branching out to a lot of stuff.
I could buy myself flowers to the climb, all that shit. Like top to bottom, I think she'd do a great job. I think she's talented enough. She sings well enough. and she plays like multiple instruments. So I think that she would do a great job at it if that rumor were the case. Who I think should do it personally, just because of like where it's gonna be at and all that stuff, and like relevance and like the type of music and people complaining about being too much hip hop. I think they should ask Billie Eilish to do it. If not just her by herself, bring other people along, Miley Cyrus and her, or like just do like a white girl just halftime show, like just like Billie Eilish, Sabrina Carpenter.
I was gonna say Sabrina Carpenter
and Olivia Rodrigo and Miley Cyrus if she wants to as well in some way. But like that would be like perfect. I think Billie Eilish being the head because she's big enough to do it. She has the music to do it. She can sing her ass off, play instruments like crazy, and she can dance and all that stuff. And she's from California, so it's just like ties in really well.
So this is me just being
devil's advocate.
Huh?
Devil's advocate?
No, not really devil's advocate. It's just me being dang, why can't I think of the word? I'm
uncultured.
A lot of stuff. What?
Uncultured?
Yeah, I guess a little bit of that too. I just don't listen to her music, so I'm just like, does she have a lot of like upbeat stuff?
Absolutely.
There you go. See, I don't know.
Tripping.
Anytime I hear about Billie Eilish, a lot of times I hear that she's just like her songs are very slow and just
some can be
sad.
But
so
like,
I was like, okay.
But there's like a part of it where you can like every halftime show usually has that. Like even the Usher one was like My Boo with Alicia Keys.
But like
and with Kendrick they had this, and Kendrick has like her moment with SZA right there.
That's true, yeah.
So like, and this happened before. You could just have that moment, like one brief part where she just sings her ass off.
No, true for sure. I just personally thought that like a lot of her music was surrounded around that.
You've absolutely heard it in like walking through a store, and you just don't know that it's Billie Eilish.
Probably, yeah.
But she absolutely has like music like that.
The person I was thinking of was Sabrina Carpenter,
and she could also do it as well.
That's what
I'm saying. Like that's one that could do well like together.
Yeah, that was the one person that came to my head when I thought about somebody else doing it.
But yeah, I think definitely let the white girls do it.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Yeah, I think it needs to.
I don't think there's a white guy out there that could do it right now.
Yeah, you know the one person is in my head, but
Jay
he already
Beebs.
did it. Huh?
Jay Beebs.
No.
He would do a great job.
He would, but he wasn't the person I was thinking of.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, but
he did it twice.
I know.
And he ripped out Janet Jackson's bra in the process, so I think he's good on those for a little bit.
They said no, sir. Yeah, I know, unfortunately, but like have him and like Timberland.
Yeah, that's done. He's already done. He's done those songs as well,
yeah,
so it's like
I'm here for it again. Nah. Just have me in the crowd.
Maroon 5 is out.
True, yeah, a band would be pretty interesting.
Coldplay's already done it.
Did
you know what I would be down for, low key? If I don't think they've done it, but like just do like a 2000s band kind of thing, like just like Fall Out Boy and like all them.
That's what I was thinking. I was like Panic at the Disco, and in my head I was like, did they?
But they're not like together. Some of them aren't together anymore.
Are they? I thought they were. I thought they still had their stuff. Like
I'm saying something. Ooh, bro, give me a Paramore halftime show.
Paramore would be pretty good.
That'd be fire. Cause they just like started touring again this past year.
Paramore would be good.
Hayley Williams, bro, she will fucking body. She started crip walking in Cali, bro. Crip walking Paramore. Hayley Williams, give me that.
I think she would be good.
But yeah, if it's not gonna be another rapper, which I feel like it probably won't be, I'll give it to her. Rihanna did hers like pregnant, and they just had a bunch of dancers around her, so like anybody's really possible. But I think Miley Cyrus would be a good call. I forgot that like now it's the Apple halftime show, and Jay-Z low key runs it, and with Rock Nation. So like, there's like probably technical stuff there too, on like who the artist would be. Like you probably need to have ties to like Rock Nation in some way.
But I think he'll be smart enough to know like what's needed. I don't know who else would be a good person that's not like the white girl pop. Like
Shabuzi.
Huh?
Shabuzi. You know who Shabuzi is. The country guy. So someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey.
Okay. Yeah. I got you. Okay.
But that will conflict the shit out of the people that are complaining about the hip hop.
Yeah.
That's the best way I could put it, guys.
Yeah, I'm imagining like a country.
No, they might do like what's that guy's name? Not Luke Bryan. What's the other guy's name? It's like a newer country guy.
I was gonna say Luke Combs.
That's another one, but damn, what's his name? What's his name? Mark, what's his name?
What's his name?
Bro, he's like a newer guy. I don't know who like his music, but like I know he's like a big deal. I gotta pull this up because it's gonna drive me insane. Q's probably knows it.
He's saying it right now at the screen
Yeah,
screaming.
bro, what the? Oh my gosh, bro! Stop giving me all these old ass country guys. Not Zach Brown band, not Luke Bryan, Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen is like I feel at least new to me guy that like is out there.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard of him.
Damn, bro, we need to get you tapped in.
Sorry, man, I just don't be listening to that music that much anymore.
Where do you get your like news and stuff from?
Huh?
Where you get your like your news and your stuff
whatever
from?
I see on like Instagram when I'm scrolling.
Damn, bro, so you like 3 months behind.
Probably, yeah. I'll see stuff. I mean, Complex is usually on there. It's getting me too when it comes to stuff. But I've been seeing a lot of stuff that's just not necessary for me either, about how like Kanye and Bianca are getting a divorce now. So I'm like, great. Yeah. I'm like, I didn't really need to know that, but great. It's like there's controversy on them showing up to a Grammys. The next day you know it, they're getting divorced. Okay, cool. Like, no, I don't think I care.
You getting all your news. Like, you know DMX died, right? Like,
right? What? No way.
But no, yeah. They're divorcing because of what happened at the Grammys, I believe, is what the situation was. In addition, you don't. Damn, I didn't even think about this. You don't know about this either. You don't know. You haven't seen. Have you seen his tweets in the past week?
No, I haven't seen his tweets.
Bro has gone full rogue. Ugh. I think his page is done now. I don't think it's still a thing. Long story short, because Mark doesn't have Twitter anymore, or like most of social media he doesn't use. Kanye's just been going on rants for like the past week. I think he like stopped taking his meds, and
he already stopped doing that like years ago.
I mean, I feel like I don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
That's true,
but I feel like he probably goes through like ups and downs of like being taken like responsible,
probably.
Because you can just tell when it's like, all right, like cool, like he's on his meds, but he's still being Kanye because like that's just him, you know. But when he's off his meds, it just becomes a thing of like just fully like, yo, you could tell something's not right, because he just spent the past week just saying like he's a Nazi and like that he hates fat people, that he would never, like, if you're fat, it's like offensive. He doesn't hire fat people. He's racist. He like, it's like self like saying these things, like he's like, yo, like all this stuff is happening. He said like F Virgil. He started selling t-shirts with swastikas on his Yeezy website, but it got taken down by Shopify. Meanwhile, he also had a Super Bowl commercial like saying like, go to my website. But yeah, he had like a t-shirt that had like a swastika on it, like not like nothing else, literally just like a swastika. And it was just like, oh, like saying stuff about Jewish people and just any demographic you could think of, he talked about. And he started using the F word, like as in the word towards gay people, and just being like, oh, like if you're offended by that, then if you're offended by the F word, then you're an F word, and like just kept just going and going and going. Like it just does not help.
Wow.
And he's like, oh, like he just started name dropping and then posting screenshots of people messaging him like, bro, like it's on site type of stuff. I think his Twitter's gone. Might be, might not be. Yeah, he's calling out everybody. Basically just saying, he's like, oh, like I had sex with this guy's wife and all this other stuff, and like just going off for no reason. You're just saying, it's like, oh yeah, like sometimes you just need to just like hit a woman, just like going and going. The reason you mentioned this, but I plan on talking about it anyway, but I just want to ask throughout all of this, do you think, and I feel like I already know the answer, do you think that Kanye has run out of the he made graduation argument? Because I think he has. Because like every time that one of these things happens where his first thing that started all this, he brought back the slavery as a choice thing. That was like one of his first ones where I was like, oh, he's back. Yeah. He's like, yo, take your phone away, please. Yeah. But after, obviously he's like, this is probably beyond, this should have been said a long time ago. Like after all the outbursts and like lawsuits and accusations of assault and stuff that he's had, I think that the whole like, oh, but he made graduation thing is like, he like burned that shit the fuck out. Like there's no more excuses for it. Even that's coming from me, somebody who enjoys all his music. Like,
I was going to ask you when you were describing everything about all those tweets, and I was going to ask you, so are you still going to listen to like his music?
Yeah. Like,
and it's like kind of one of those things where it's just like, it's very hard to justify this man and just the only thing you can say is, well, his music's good. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, but I could say that, and then next thing you know it, he also can come up to me and say some out of pocket stuff, and I still can't be like, oh, you know, he didn't really mean it by that, because, you know, his music though, it's like, nah, at the end of the day, it's like him saying these things is just wild. And but yeah, just it's just like, it's one of those things where it's just like kind of like no excuse anymore. And it's just like, it sucks to say that, because like, again, when you grew up with him, it's like, and seeing him now, you're just like, bro, like, back then he was just a completely different person, you know. And it's just like, there's also like, not completely, but just in the sense where, you know, there wasn't stuff like this happening, like this major. And obviously we know there was stuff from when he was around, like in that time where, you know, him losing his mom and all that stuff. Like there was just a lot,
the car accident.
Yeah, there was like a lot of stuff, you know, that like you felt like, okay, like maybe this can be a reason for a lot of that stuff. So it's like, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, like he was so perfect, like he was going to do stuff.
The crazy back then was him being overly confident in himself, which like in the grand scheme of things is not crazy. Yeah, it's just he just comes off as cocky.
Yeah. Now, but he had a lot to back it up too, which was why it was like, okay, people gave him his flowers for that. But
now it's like, you're saying shit that's just outright just not okay. And simultaneously putting out shitty music. Like he's put out like a couple albums in the past couple years. It's like, you put no effort into this.
And I think it's one of those ideas where he's just like, oh, but I'm Kanye, so this,
it's like, you rode that
you
out,
just don't understand what that is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's just like, oh, it is good music, I'm Kanye, you just it's
you haven't caught up yet.
And it's just like, no, bro, I don't think it's I think it's you. I
think your stuff is still like somewhat lazy. He could have stopped at least Donda and been all right. But
true,
it's just like, you just burying that shit to the ground.
You know, it's funny now that you say this whole stuff with the Twitter stuff, because now I remember I saw something where Ty Dolla $ign was taking a lot of stuff from Kanye off of his page because he said, oh, I don't condone anybody or something. He was just basically defending like the fact that he doesn't, you know, condone all that stuff. So now that makes sense.
Ty Dolla $ign also tweeted like the same day that P. Diddy got arrested, it was like free Diddy. So that was another thing that Kanye started off with. It was like free Puff. But Ty Dolla $ign literally like the same week was like, yo, like he ain't do shit. Mind you, there's security camera footage of him beating on Cassie. But he's like, don't worry about the baby oil. None of his like. So Ty Dolla $ign, you ain't, and you also made an album with Kanye. Like you spent time in a booth with him. It's not like he didn't have these thoughts around you. Like shut up. But it's just, you know, it's got to a point like when you asked me the question, like, will you still listen to him? Literally, like ever since those like, because I'm not gonna like, he's had these situations before. So like, it was like, obviously the stuff was still bad, but it's like, all right, like it's the first time, or like like it's like, this is not like, he sounds crazy, but it's not as bad. Or like there was some stuff where like genuinely like he was just misunderstood on what he was trying to say. Now it's just like, there's no minced words here. Like the whole like slavery is a choice thing. It's like he worded it in the worst way possible. We talked about this before. But like I knew what he was trying to say, so I was like, you know what, like I get it. You know, I know what you're trying to say. You're saying it really in a bad way, but I can look past it a little bit. Now it's just to the point where he's just saying shit like there's no confusing it, and I don't agree with it. And for the past week, like I've been listening to music, and like he'll come on, I'm like, I just gotta skip you, bro. Like you on timeout for the foreseeable indefinitely. And even to the point where like before, obviously as a kid, like we grew up around, he's like, yo, this is the guy who made like late registration, college dropout, graduation, my dark twisted fantasy, Jesus, 808s and Heartbreaks. Like there was a point in time where like, if I were to meet him, I would shake his hand and be like, yo, like a lot of your music has influenced like my life, and the way like memories that I have attached to your music is incredible. Now it's like, if I were to see him, I would not want to be photographed with him or shake his hand for that matter.
True, yeah. It sucks, that it got to that point.
So it's just like, this just got to that point where I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm cool. Like, I just imagine like all that stuff being out there, and somebody gets in your car and it's just like, that starts playing. It's like, yo, bro, you that ass right now?
Exactly.
Like, like, nah, like I don't want to be tied to that right now.
Yeah, it's weird.
But yeah, there's that. There's the whole, we can also touch briefly on Kendrick's shots at Drake. He said Drake flat, clear as day on TV, and everybody said A minor at the top of their lungs.
Yeah.
It's game over, as he said himself.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles took over that stadium. When you heard the intros of like, oh, the Chiefs, like, and they're running out the tunnel, the boos were louder than the cheers. And then the Eagles came out, and Bradley Cooper said EAGLES Eagles, and that joint broke the freaking roof off of that building. That stadium went from an indoor stadium to an outdoor because that shit was just busted open.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was over from then. We like once we come out that energy like that is raps. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. Kanye's getting divorced by Bianca. I thought she would never leave because he had this woman naked at every event. We talked about it last week. Every event possible. They were like, he got caught in Italy like having sex with her on a gondola. Just seemed like more like he was just looking to humiliate her as much as possible. And just like a control thing. But I think he went over the deep end, and she's like, yeah, I'm cool. Which honestly, a lot faster than Kim did, because Kim stuck around for like a decade plus and had 3 or 4 kids with him.
4, I think. Yeah.
Bianca does not have a single kid with him, luckily, so she could just break off. Yeah, but we'll just leave it at that. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Even though it passed by. Mark, you're my Valentine. Can't do anything about it. Sorry.
Can't do anything.
You're my only choice right now. I'm sorry. I know you have multiple. It's okay.
You're my
Emily, share him. So, but yeah, hope you guys have an amazing Valentine's Day. Yes. Hope you guys enjoy the parade for y'all in the Philly area. I will not be there because I can watch it on TV, and I went to the last one. And I live in Jersey now, so it's a lot harder for me to get to this parade.
Yeah, probably.
I was at Temple in my dorm, and I walked from my dorm because SEPTA was shut off that day, and I enjoyed it that way. But that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm not going there at 5 a.m. to wait for a speech at a podium at 3 p.m. when I could watch it on ESPN from the comfort of my couch. So if you'll be there, have fun, be safe.
Yeah, I will.
Good luck with that.
Yep.
But yeah, that's anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Nah, just again, for everybody who loves the Eagles, go Birds. We love you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Peace.